Hey everyone, okay, so before we get started today, little service announcement. There is some nutcase out there on Telegram messaging people, pretending to be me, saying they've won a prize. And when you message this person back, they then say you need to send this amount of money to me in order to claim the prize. It is an absolute scam and a fraud. I have reported it on Telegram. They're not doing anything. I've also reported it on YouTube since they're messaging people on there. They're not doing anything either. If you see messages like this on YouTube, report them please. If you see them on Telegram, if you're on there, please report them. It's absolutely outrageous. Please do not fall for it. Thank you. Hey everyone, so I'm not really one to do negative reviews. I don't like it. However, sometimes something so terrible comes along that I just think it's a public service announcement, if nothing else. So I'm going to mention it here. Now, it's worth noting that this is just my opinion and take it for what it is. I'm a big brush fan. I love brushes. As you all know, I have my own collection and have done for many, many years now. I know a thing or two about brushes. So Kevyn Aucoin recently just launched a new double-ended brush set and I decided to buy almost all of them. I think I missed one and I regret it terribly. So what I'm going to do is talk you through the brushes and why it was a massive mistake. Now the entire selection of brushes cost me, I think, £230 or £40. So let's just say nearly $400 if you're in the US. They're not cheap. Now what I thought I was getting was a really, really good double-ended, high quality synthetic brush. And synthetic brushes have come a long way. Some of them feel exactly like natural hair bristles and they're amazing. That's what I thought I was getting and I was incorrect. So let's go through the most terrible to the least. So what I want to do here is not bash the brand because, you know, what gets me about the Kevyn Aucoin brand is that you have one of the most iconic makeup artists of all time and the brand is constantly being just rubbished and I don't understand. It should be one of the most iconic makeup brands in the world and it isn't, and I don't understand what they're playing at. When you look at his work, when you look at his tome of work, why can't they just do something good? I don't get it. So let's start where we start, which is the Precision Shadow Brush, which is this one here. I hope you can see that because I can't see much in my monitor at all. So you've got two ends of this beauty. Let's talk about the top end here, this end here. Now, if you're interested in having your eyelids exfoliated, this is the brush for you. It is not soft whatsoever. This looks like the kind of brush that you would see given in an eyeshadow palette that would come with a palette. This end, which is the smudger end, is so coarse that you could quite literally just go over your face and you'd have a beautiful level of mechanical exfoliation. It is dreadful. And this brush was really, really, really expensive. And it is dreadful in every way, shape and form. Following on from dreadful is the definer brush. So again, we'll start with this end. Once again, this looks like it could come with any set of brushes. I'm sorry about the camera. It's dreadful. Angle brush for liner or your brows. Then we've got this pointed section here, which is so, it's not good. This to me looks like it should have cost me, if I was to buy it in Asda or Superdrug here in the UK, like 2 or 3 quid. And it was like 20 or 30, no, it was like 30 quid or something like that. Now, onto another exfoliating brush. This is the shadow brush. And this is what it looks like. Let's do this end first. So, you've seen this shape before, except this one isn't soft in the slightest. It picks up pigment unevenly. It's not nice. The second one looks very much like a smaller version of his old contouring brush. This is a bit softer, but still not soft and just not good. The worst, almost the worst, is the concealer brush. So first we've got this end. Now I don't know if you can see with this bristle here, but these bristles to me, they scream really cheap in terms of the colouring of them. They're the kind of bristles we would have seen 10 years ago on certain brushes. They're dreadful. Then we've got the concealer part, which is one of the cheapest looking concealer brushes I've ever seen. It's horrible. The buffer end is not soft in the slightest. It's not coarse, but it's not soft. I am lost for words. So now we've got the awful ones out of the way. Let's talk about the less awful ones. Now the thing that gets me is I don't believe anybody at Aucoin went, I think we should make some terrible brushes and charge a lot of money for it. I don't think anybody ever said that, but that is what they've done. And there was no need for it because these cannot cost much to make at all. They truly cannot. And I know how much brushes cost to make. So these are the least bad. Now, these are all moderately, well, one of them is moderately okay. The other one's questionable. So let's talk about the moderately good one, which is the foundation brush. Now this is a double-ended foundation brush. This one is actually soft and it actually does blend very well. There are certainly better ones on the market. Then you've got the pointed end, which is quite frankly dreadful. Really is. It's not good at all, so don't bother. But this is pretty decent. This actually does a really, really good job. But I have seen brushes that look exactly like this for £4 and you don't need to be spending 50. Next up, we've got the contour brush. Here it is. So let's do this end, shall we? This sexy little end. So this is the bit you would blend with pretty much. It's moderately soft. It's still, you hate to say it, it's trash, but it's moderately soft, so hurrah. And then you've got the precision end for contouring. Now, good luck contouring a nose with that because, come on, you bugger. There we go. That is so unless you want a huge nose, then contour with this. Yes, you can contour with this underneath the jaw, the cheek and the jaw, absolutely. But it's a really thick brush for your nose. So you're not going to contour with that. Again, it's just, quality is shocking. This one I think is just horrific. So this is the blush brush, double-ended. I don't know if you can see with the bristles here, but these are awful. They do not feel soft. They are coarse. They are horrible, horrible, horrible. And then we've got the small buffing end for highlighting or baking actually. This is for baking. Yeah, that's about all you do with it. Now, I know it doesn't give me any pleasure to speak about this. The only reason I'm speaking about this is because I really don't want people to spend $300, $400, £250 on something that is so poorly constructed. I love double end brushes. I've never done any myself. I certainly would think about it. But you have to have decent quality hair. The synthetic hair on this is dreadful. And there's no need for that because there are so many good synthetic brushes available that you can have amazing ones that do not cost the earth. But if you're going to have a price point that's high end, you have to give a high-end experience. You cannot be giving somebody this brush. I mean, you just can't. It is coarse and unpleasant. And there's no need for it when you're asking somebody 40, 50 quid for this kind of brush. It's just shocking. I'm horrified by it. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but you know, I'm honestly lost for words. I truly am. I actually preferred the days of Kevyn Aucoin when the products were 15 years ago and you had the 6 blushes, but they weren't in the tiny little compacts, and they were in a much bigger compact. You had the contouring powder, which was in a much bigger compact, and you'd have a little powder press thing with it. If any of you are old enough to remember that, I miss those days. That was when the brand was still his vision, even though he had passed away. That was still his vision. And then it got altered, and now they're smaller and you're still charging even more for it than you were before. And I don't know, it's just shocking, but please do not buy it. Well, I don't want to say that because you buy them if you want, but they're just not very good and I don't understand it. I want this brand so badly to be iconic and it's doing everything in its power to make sure that it isn't. And that really makes me sad. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time. See you all soon. Bye-bye.